everyone, Samantha Grieve, one Vibrant Diabetic. I am somebody who loves to live life to the fullest, and to truly live vibrantly, we need vibrant health. And some things that can really make for vibrant health is really focusing on what we are putting into our body. What foods are we giving to feed the body more of what it needs, feed the good gut bacteria, but really giving some thought to what components you're putting in that are going to help you build lean muscle, help you have stable moods so that you're not having these crazy spikes in, say, a mood and then followed by a crash. A lot of that comes back to the type of carbohydrate. What you're putting in is what's going to equal what you're getting out. And of course, what would it be without me talking about blood sugar as a healthy type 1 diabetic? So blood sugar stabilization is key. And one of those things that we can really focus on is getting enough fiber into our diet, making sure that we are not feeding our bodies just a whole lot of simple carbs that break down quickly and ultimately spike the blood sugar, but they don't necessarily help sustain us. So it's really important that we look, take a deep dive and talk quickly today at least, about how you can make a really easy, healthy meal, specifically in summer or any time of year, mind you. It is summer here in Ontario. It's July 2021. How to make a quick, easy meal that could be something that you either have before you work out or maybe it's after, but knowing how to properly fuel yourself so that this summer you find you nicely hydrated, you're not grabbing sweet sugary drinks that are not going to do anything for you, but really can just make you feel good and get you to jam pack a whole lot of good nutrients into one meal. Again, it's easy. This is why I talk about smoothies all the time. I am a true what you'd call smoothie addict. You can follow me on Instagram, one Vibrant Diabetic. And I'm always sharing tips, tricks, tools that I use to help me build my muscles as, say, athlete, which I am, but also help fuel me through my workouts and then post-workout, how I properly fuel and how I really live a healthy life, having little kids, what I can do to incorporate more veggies, more fruits, and more healthy plants into their diets so that they can also be focused around stabilizing their moods, right? Because they're learning from us that the tips and tricks that we can embrace ourselves, we can then impart upon our children, and then they take into their lives going forward, which is amazing. So without further ado, I'm gonna make a quick smoothie. And right now, because it is summer, I love to use produce that is in season, right? So important. Why wouldn't we want to maximize that? We just had strawberries, and so I actually went and picked organic strawberries with my girls at a local organics farm. And then what I did is I froze them. So you put them on a cookie sheet, you spread them out after they're washed, you hull them, so you take out the stems, and then you freeze them, and then it makes it like this so that they don't all clump together. The other thing that I love to do is add veggies into my smoothies, because a smoothie cannot just have fruit, it can also have veggies, and why wouldn't we want to capitalize on that and think about the type of veggies that we can add that will help with the hydration piece, but also just get more phytonutrients into your body, which are plant nutrients. I love berries for so many reasons. I love the fact that they're super flavorful, help with antioxidants, which is super important for us type 1 diabetics, where we're really trying to reduce the oxidative stress happening in our bodies. Important for everybody, but especially us. So there's definitely going to be some berries in there. There's the zucchini. So I have once a week, I peel or spiralize zucchini. I save it, the cores, and whatever's maybe some remnants left over of the zook, and I pop it into a freezer bag, and I kind of create individual smoothie bags just to make it easy for me. So in one bag, I have already got a bunch of berries in here. I've got some fresh watermelon and zucchini. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put into my high-speed blender, I am going to do 1 to 1.5 cups of unsweetened oat milk. Choose whatever nut milk you want. Just make sure you're using something that's dairy-free, because that will help keep the inflammation in the body at an all-time low. Once you introduce things like whey or sugary milk or whatever the case may be, you're just adding not just calories, you're adding extra stuff you don't need. And so this is one of my favorites. Sorry, it's really bright in here. So silk, always give it a nice little shake. So I just had a really hard HIIT workout, one of my workouts of choice, my favorite. And so now it's really important that I fuel my body properly. So I've got that in, and then I'm basically going to take, I'm literally going to take this whole thing. So that would be about a cup between the zucchini and the fruit. I, on average, use half a cup of fruit, and the reason is I try and get in the fruit, but not too much of it, because excess fruit can raise our blood sugar as well, right? And so I am going to just grab another mini handful of strawberries, because there wasn't as much strawberries in that little freezer bag. And they smell, oh my gosh, they smell amazing. It's like when you think about strawberry jam, nothing like fresh berries. So, so good. And every smoothie needs a healthy fat. I am a big proponent of almond butter. I also love coconut butter, peanut butter. If you use peanut butter, you always want to make sure to use an organic one that's nice and clean, because it is a dirty nut. No pun intended. So I'm going to take a tablespoon, just under a tablespoon, I guess, and put that in there. And the fat is going to help you keep feeling full, so that you're not going to be hungry in like a half an hour or an hour. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a quick second. Speaking of hunger and satiating the hunger, I've got a phone call coming in, don't mind me. I always add lots of fiber. And this is ground flax. So buy your flax as whole and then ground it up. And I'm going to take probably about 1 tablespoon and put that in there. Flax is amazing, especially for diabetics. And when you add the fiber, it helps bring down the total amount of carbohydrate. So less carbohydrate, less spike in blood sugar, and less amount of insulin required. And great for the gut. So, so important, because it all comes back to our gut and what we're feeding it, right? And the better that it can remove toxins. So you want good poops. Chia seeds. I always put chia seeds in there. And chia, I mean, in 1.5 tablespoons, you're looking at 5 grams of fiber and 6 grams of carbs, so net 1 gram, which is incredible. So you can get chia seeds and ground or flax from any health food store, even in your local grocery store, no doubt. Just going to wipe my hands off for a quick sec. And so what I often do, I really just make a point of mixing up the different varieties of flavors so that I'm getting a nice rounded out variety of fruits and veggies. Sometimes I'll throw in celery, sometimes I'll throw in the zucchini, as I mentioned. Cauliflower, surprising. I'm going to do another recipe sometime soon showcasing cauliflower, because when I first had it, I was not a believer that cauliflower could taste good in a smoothie, but I've been proven wrong. So without further ado, so I've added all of that. The other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add protein powder. It's a little bright, so I have to move the camera. So it's complete. It's my only one that I use. I absolutely love it. It's a whole food-based shake mix, not just protein powder. It has 15 different plants in it, which is amazing. And it's plants that I and you wouldn't necessarily get on the daily. And I'm always impressed with it. It is low glycemic, so it's not going to spike the blood sugar. It has the same amount of the same equivalency of a glycemic index as a bowl of broccoli. So that says a lot. It has 8 grams of fiber, which I think is amazing. And in one serving, we're looking at 13.5 grams of protein, which is the perfect amount. Anywhere from 10 to 15 in a serving is what your body really can handle. When you get to be more than that, it can sometimes put a load on the kidneys, something that we diabetics have to really be cautious of. Sometimes I'll add a little bit more protein or be okay with a little bit more if I'm doing a really long, intense workout, but in this case, I don't need it. And with most meals and snacks, we don't need it, unless you're a professional athlete, in which case you'll need a lot more. But plant-based all the way. I love the complete. You can check out my Instagram, and there's the link in there. That comes in 2 flavors, chocolate and vanilla. And the fact that the vanilla is actually my all-time favorite speaks volumes, because I'm such a chocolate girl. Chocolate's good, but this French vanilla it's so smooth and it just enhances every single recipe. So often I find with these recipes or smoothie powders or shake powders, they're so sweet. And then you feel like you've ruined your whole entire smoothie because it's like overpowering or it's chalky. This one, so good. Like my eyes, I'm like, I can't get in your face anymore. It is delish. And that's why I say it's the only one I'll use. So if you like a smoothie that's thin, then you're gonna wanna add more liquid, like closer to 1.5 cups of your dairy-free milk. Or if you're like me, who likes to really have a nice thick smoothie, often pour it into a bowl and top it with superfoods, then definitely make it with 1 cup of the nut milk. But you'll find as you're blending, it'll tell you if you have a lot of frozen produce in there, you're going to need to add some water because it's going to be too thick. So I always start my blender at a little bit like the midway, like about a 5, and then as it starts to go, then I start to increase the speed. So just 1 sec. Based on the sound, no doubt. So I just add it right to the top of my Vitamix. This one looks like it's going to need a lot more water, but it's amazing because it's almost like a slushy. It's so thick. So I'll show you what's going on. To do, I like to mix up all the stuff except the protein powder. I add my protein powder at the end, and the reason I do that is so that the protein powder doesn't get denatured. But the other thing I've been told that if you find you tend to get gassy, definitely add it towards the end. Just a little tip or trick. It's just something I do. Sometimes I'll add it right at the beginning, but often I'll add it right at the end. It also helps just because you get all the texture nice and smooth, right? And so depending on what you're blending, some things need more blending than others, right? Yeah, so I'm just going to do a quick blend up. And then it will be done. 1 sec. Now I have to decide, do I want to drink it or do I want to put it into a bowl? But for now, I will show you the beautiful consistency. And just the smell alone is divine. Like, look at that. Oh, so good. Yeah, so I have to say, there was a time there that I would have smoothies the odd time. And then I learned about all the benefits that smoothies can give me. And I love the fact that they're so easy. Oh my goodness. Delicious. Delicious, delicious. So for more tips and tricks, be sure to follow me. As I say, I am also on Instagram at @1 Vibrant Diabetic, and I will keep posting videos here to share tips and tricks for you to live your most vibrant life. Have a great day, everybody. Bye for now.